I was afraid of a lot as a kid. But as I grew up, I tried to overcome my fears. Fear of the water, I forced myself to jump in the lake at my friend's summer home. Fear of flying, I booked a flight across the country. Fear of tight spaces, I literally went in my small closet and stayed there in increasing increments of time every day until I got used to the feeling. Fear wouldn't have a hold on me any longer. Except for one fear. The fear of the basement man. The creature I had encountered multiple times in my childhood, the monster that still haunted my dreams. My one unconquerable fear. I knew the only way I had a chance of overcoming it was to go back to the basement of my childhood home. It was abandoned now. My parents had sold the home a long time ago and moved south where it was a little warmer. The new owner had planned on demoing the house and renovating, but from what I can remember, his plans fell through due to some financial trouble, and the house just ended up abandoned. It wasn't the most comforting sight for a man who was trying to overcome a deep-rooted fear. The front yard was overgrown, vines and shrubs growing over and under the windows, wood splintering and rotten. The walkway was all torn up, and a few of the windows were smashed in. As I made my way inside, it looked like demo work had started at the very least. There were holes in the floor, and tile in the kitchen was mostly ripped up. The carpet was ripped out of the living room, and all the electrical was ripped out as well. The house was a shell of its former self. I almost didn't even recognize it. The home I grew up in was foreign to me now. What I saw with my eyes didn't match up with my childhood memories. Except for the basement door. The basement door looked unscathed, almost exactly how I remembered it. I slowly opened the door and it creaked, breaking the silence and instantly transporting me back to my childhood. A scared kid, looking down into the darkness below. I made my way down the stairs once again, just like I had such a long time ago. It was the middle of the day, but the basement was still mostly in darkness. The only light leaking through was from small, mostly boarded up windows. I stood in the shadow of the basement, my eyes scanning the corners. This was good. This was good for me. I should be proud of myself. I'm overcoming a crippling childhood fear. No more would that nightmarish creature have a hold on me. I must have had quite an imagination as a kid. I bet if I... Wait. What was that? My eyes darted around the basement again, this time more acclimated to the dark. I began to get nervous. Afraid. My heart began to beat so hard it felt like it was in my ears. Suddenly, on the opposite corner of the room, I saw it. The basement man. He was exactly how I remembered him from my childhood. His white, unmoving face and plastic smile were low to the ground, with his pitch-black hands and arms outstretched on the basement floor in front, supporting him. His spine was bent at an unnatural angle, his legs and feet up on the wall. He was posed like some kind of spider, and he was staring directly at me. And all of a sudden, I was a kid again. A kid holding his toy, staring into the darkness at an entity composed of pure evil. I snapped back to reality and began sprinting up the stairs. In my peripheral, I could see the thing recoil and begin sprinting at me on all fours. I slammed the basement door closed and ran for the door, which was now shut. I jiggled the doorknob and found it was locked. I heard the basement door fly open with immense force. Instinctively, I ran up the stairs toward my old room, into my childhood closet, and closed the door, as if it was some sort of impenetrable barricade. I held my breath and waited. Slowly, I heard the sounds of the basement man crawling up the stairs, at a pace much slower than he had previously been moving. He was taunting me. I heard his overabundant footsteps slowly enter my room, followed by his awful groans and growls. This thing had never left the basement before. Never. And now here it was, about to rip me open, or eat me, or whatever it was the basement man planned on doing. As I recounted my previous run-ins with the basement man in my head, one similarity started to emerge. He only ever showed up when I was afraid. The more I feared him, the more I thought about him, the more aggressive he would be. He was dependent on fear. It fueled him somehow. Or at least that's what my panicked brain came up with as an explanation. The only way I'd be able to escape him was to not be afraid of him. But it was too late. I was terrified. And yet somehow I knew I had to try. I heard his footsteps and noises getting closer and closer as he circled the closet, waiting for his moment to get to me. I took a deep breath, and with my heart racing, I flung the closet door open. To silence. No basement man. No footsteps. No more growling. To this day, I will sometimes wonder if what I saw in that house was just in my head, or if maybe my small amount of bravery required to open that door somehow was enough to keep the basement man at bay. I'm inclined to believe the latter, because every once in a while I'll find myself thinking of the basement man again. His contorted body, barely illuminated, crawling at me from the shadows. And my heart will start beating a little faster. My breathing starts getting a little quicker, and it's in those moments that I swear, when I look at an unlit area, I can see a ghostly white face and a wide plastic smile staring at me from the darkness.